Boy, this weather's great. Isn't this nice? All of a sudden, it's supposed to be nicer tomorrow. All right, well, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, I guess. This is an announcement that we've been waiting a while to do because it's an announcement that is going to make a big difference in a lot of ways, in terms of facilitating the growth of the downtown and ensuring the safety of folks in the downtown area. A real big boost to the city's image and a boost, I think, in the long run to the city's revenue picture. So over the last several years, we've seen a lot of growth in the downtown. We've seen this is really the confluence of really two different things. We've seen a tremendous amount of growth in the downtown, and at the same time, in the last few years, a real push on the part of city government to modernize everything it does. This garage behind me has been here for over 40 years, or roughly 40 years, and has served the city very well. It says the Elm Street Garage is as municipal parking garages go, a pretty large one, so 1,700 spaces roughly, and so it's a really big asset for the downtown, and its role in the downtown, the life of the downtown, is only becoming more important as time goes on, with the growth of certainly the restaurant scene, but also the build out of residential and office space in the downtown. I don't have to tell anybody here that the parking needs of the downtown have only increased, and yet we have a parking garage that is not fully utilized all the time. There are lots of empty spaces. If you go up to the third and fourth floor especially, you'll see empty spaces. We want this thing to be an even more valuable asset to the businesses in the downtown. We want it to be a more valuable asset to the city. And so over the last few years, we've undertaken a number of steps. So it started off, and I'm going to lead up to where we are today, to this picture, and what you see behind me, and the work that's about to be done. But there is a context here. It was 3 or 4 years ago, we started up the Enterprise Fund. About 3 years ago, we started an Enterprise Fund for the downtown parking district. Now you might ask, well, what's that? So an Enterprise Fund basically is, we have them in city government, but basically the money that goes into the garage and the ways of fees stays here. And it used to be that all the parking fees would go into the city's general fund. Through the work of Ari Sky, we established an enterprise fund that allows us to reinvest in the garage, to reinvest in the plant and capital, the transportation plant and capital of the downtown, the streets, the sidewalks, lighting, and everything else. And, the new meters that you see around downtown that have been put in, they were put in almost 2 years ago, were funded through this enterprise fund. So it enables us to keep money right here in the district, and that's been a big boost to what we're doing. And so we're using that financing mechanism now to take it a step further, and that is to modernize this place, which is due for a big overhaul, has been due for a big overhaul for a number of years. So we're announcing today the renovations, significant renovations at the downtown, at the Elm Street Garage, as well as the Zeitirian Garage to a lesser extent. That's a much newer garage than this one, but there will be work done on both garages. So it's about a $5 million project total, almost exactly $5 million. That'll be broken into 2 phases, beginning now, and the work has already started, as phase 1, which is be about a $3.2 million project that will be used to shore up the structure of the garage. To work on, to do some really great work on the facade in the lobby, which you see here. So it's a real makeover. And I think most importantly, we will see a garage when this is all done that is inviting, that feels safe, that looks safe, and is safe. It's a safe garage now, but looking at its circa 1970s construction, the cement and its general presentation to the street, and a lot of people are reluctant to go in it. Well, our hope is that once this is all done, we have a bright, shiny lobby that throws light out into the street, that is really bright. People are going to say, I'm comfortable letting my wife, my kids, and so forth go in there. That's the goal. That's what we're trying to achieve here. So this first phase is really going to make a difference. One of the things that we modeled the lobby off of was the parking garage next to the Providence Civic Center, the Dunkin' Donuts Center, which has been very successful over the last several years. But the idea is the same. You redo the lobby, you throw lots of light in there, you clean up the place, and it becomes much better used. And that will help out with downtown parking, which is sort of a touchy subject all the time. But the reality is we've got the parking congestion you see in the downtown is a function of growth. It is a mark of growth. And we need to accommodate that volume of cars, the volume of cars that are now parking throughout our downtown. And so this is a big part of the solution. We want to get people into the garage so that we free up spaces on the street. So Scott doesn't have to be out there ticketing. He knows I was going to bring you up in that vein. Sorry, Scott. You'll have your opportunity to defend yourself in a second. But no, the reality is that we do want to pull cars off the street, and having a presentable garage is a big part of it. So, and then there's phase 2, which will happen next, which will take those steps even further. More security and more light and more work on the decks up on the 3rd and 4th floor. So this is really great news. This is a big downtown project, and it's happening at a time when we're about to start redoing Union Street, and when we're going to be redoing the southern segment of JFK Boulevard, as well as all the new restaurant growth, and there's more of that still to come as well. So stay tuned. But I'm just really pleased that we're able to do this. Again, it's a big part of the city's modernization effort. This is a mark of a city that has its act together. If they're attending to this problem that has been festering out there for a long time, and you're going to see, and Ari will go into a little more detail about it, you're going to see a really terrific project. So with all that, I want to call Ari Sky up to talk a little bit about the project financing, and then I'll have Scott Downey. Nice catch,
Yep,
well done, quick feet. And then I'll have Councilor Winterson come on up to say a few words as well. So Ari, why don't you come on up and give us a few details.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor indicated, he went over most of the details. This is a project that has been several years in the making. Early on my time here, when I came 4 years ago, one of the things that the mayor directed me to do was to look at condition of our assets. We dealt with those assets in a number of different ways. So our capital program, in a way, this is a piece of that. It's a slightly different approach in the sense that we created this parking district downtown, which is a self-contained unit. To ensure that the revenue that comes from parking meters and parking in the garages and so on is reinvested in the downtown. One of our the first step of that were the parking meters, which were in very bad shape. And the second step is the garage itself. The City Council has been very, very helpful in working with us on putting together this district, as well as authorizing the bonds that will be necessary to do the work. Again, this is a self-financed project. No taxes go into the project. What goes into the project is revenue from the district itself. So that's a nice, clean approach. The first phase, which you'll see underway, it's costing about $3.1 million. In addition, we have a $500,000 grant from the federal government under the Federal Land Access Program, thanks to the National Park Service. We're able to get that going. That's going to help us with a lot of the exterior look and the signage and so on. And then the next phase, which will take place at some point in the next few years, once the revenue is available, we'll be finishing off the interiors, mostly the parking decks and things like that. So the exterior look comes with the first phase, and that's really the big piece. We're very pleased to be able to get this going. We had to bid a couple of times until we got the number that we needed, and we're at the place now where we're ready to go, and we're really excited.
All right, thanks, Ari. So let me just take a moment to thank a number of people, because this has been a labor of love, as much as you can love a concrete garage, over the last couple of years. But it's really important. It's really going to make a difference. And I'm glad you added the no taxpayer dollar point in there. I should have been on the tip of my tongue. I got to become a better politician. But there are lots of people to thank. I want to thank Mark Champagne and Kenny Blanchard from DFFM, who've stewarded this project for a while, and it's going to be energy efficient, it's going to work well, and they've worked very hard to get this thing out the door in time. It's really to ask everybody to join me in a round of applause for those guys for making it happen. Derek Santos, of course, from EDC, involved in just about every aspect of the city's economic development efforts, and this project was no exception. I want to thank Christine Arsenal from my office, who has in her portfolio parking as well as the Traffic Commission and other downtown-related matters. I want to thank Frank Tedesco from MVG for his great work. George Figueredo as well, MVG's man here in New Bedford, for designing a lot of the built environment these days in New Bedford. Lots of great work that these guys are doing in schools and the Whalen Museum, of course, and lots of too many other things to name. I want to thank Track Builders. You see they're the general contractor on the project. Thanks for being here, guys. You guys do great work, and we anticipate the same here as well. This was really a terrific team effort, and it couldn't have happened without the support of the City Council, which authorized the bonds and which understood that you can't modernize city government unless there's the right kind of working relationship between the council and the mayor. And on behalf of the council is Ward 5 Councilor Kerry Winterson, who will say a couple of words. Kerry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just basically wanted to thank a lot of people as well in regards to assessing the problems and properties that are around the city that need attention. Can't say enough about Kenny Blanchard from DFFM, as well as Mark Champagne, Derek Santos from the Economic Development, Scott Downing, Executive Secretary for the Traffic Commission, as well as the entire staff, the work that they do. This is, as Ari mentioned, CFO, about an enterprise fund. Enterprise funds are specifically designed for the continuance for improvements of the area itself, which needs the improvements. Can't say enough. With the administration, working collaboratively with them, the City Council, I wanted to be here to represent the council and thank everyone involved for this fantastic project. You can never make a first impression. You get one shot at it, and I like that we're starting obviously with the exterior first. Downtown is becoming revitalized. That's thanks to the mayor, thanks to everybody in the departments in the city of New Bedford. Continual restaurants are opening up. This is being revitalized, New Bedford is, and to have that first impression of coming here, feeling safe to park, to be able to come in, enjoy your day here, as well as downtown, the waterfront itself. New Bedford is on the rise, and it's on the rise because of the administration as well as the councilors and everyone working together. I wanted to thank Scott Downing again for his tremendous work he's done in this, and I can't thank everyone enough for what they do in regards to the study commissions, the contractors, Kenny Blanchard again, Mark Champagne, as well as Derek Santos, and particularly Ari Sky and the administration, as well as Rick Kidder. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. So next, I'd like to ask Scott Downing, the most popular man in city government, to say just a few words. But Scott does have a tough job, but he manages it very skillfully. He's been doing it for a long time, and I think, frankly, without the kind of investment that you're seeing here, this is a big commitment to his program as well, and he's always has his eye on efficiency and keeping everything running, and does a terrific job at it. So Scott, if you want to just come up and say a few words to talk about this.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a long overdue day. I love a cement garage because this has been my home for quite some time. I don't know if it was punishment or, but it's just another case of the mayor recognizing a city asset in need of some help, and we finally got the help. So we're looking forward to all of the renovations, and we'll make it as painless for you as we possibly can. And I'd just like to thank the mayor, Ari, the city council, and everyone else. That way I don't leave anybody out. Everyone else who's helped us get to this point. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Scott. So I wanted to get the business perspective as part of this program as well. So batting cleanup will be Rick Kidder, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, to say a few words on behalf of downtown businesses, but also the kind of investment that the Chambers has been supporting along the way, which we're really pleased about. Pleased with the partnership between the city and the Chamber. And I also want to thank Jessica Coelho for coming here. She didn't bring enough coffee for everybody, Jessica, but it's okay. We forgive you. But it's businesses like Tia Maria's that I think will benefit from this investment, and it's and we appreciate the support. So, Rick.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you very much. For those of you who have yet to meet, I'm Rick Kidder, President and CEO of the New Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce. This is a remarkable day. It's a great day. It's a great day because of exactly the problems it's looking to address. Believe it or not, if you don't have parking problems, it's because there isn't enough business. We have business. We have things happening in this community, and this community in this downtown is on the rise. Now, as somebody who has personally, I believe, paid the first year's interest on whatever the note is, on the bond, just through parking fees, I can tell you this is money extraordinarily well spent. This is going to bring more business into our downtown. It's going to bring more residents into our downtown. It is going to do for our downtown what it really, really needs. And what it needs is economic vitality, and you can see it happening all around us. So, Mayor, thank you very much. City Council, thank you very much. Ari, for your creativity and the development of the Enterprise Fund. Thank you very much. Scott, for all of your good work. Thank you. This is about economic prosperity, and it's happening today.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you, Rick. All right, I'm sure people have some questions about maybe some of the construction details or anything else on your mind. Mike, do you have anything? Come on, what comes to mind? Do you like the color? Don't answer that.
I couldn't tell the pictures were actually, they look natural.
Yeah. So the idea is, we want people, they go out to eat at night, to say, to not think twice about going in the garage. I mean, that's a big part of this. I mean, it's a big asset. We need to keep it up. But we also want people to say, this is a really convenient garage to get in and out of. It is inexpensively priced for people who park their car in garages in the city of Boston. What a deal is. Look, another big garage fan. This is, the word's getting out already. So, but that's the idea to have this thing which could look cold and Soviet looking like this to be inviting and be one more asset to draw businesses in, as Rick was saying.
How much of the $5 million is raised, or is that going to continue to get raised as the project continues?
Well, the city council issued the bonds, and the bonds will be supported by the revenue stream that comes from here. And as part of the revenue from the Downtown Enterprise Fund comes from meter revenue, not the tickets, but the meter revenue.
Do you know how much is already in that enterprise fund, or is it still kind of continuing?
Well, it's continuing. There's a revenue stream that'll come in and it'll finance the bonds. Yeah.
So are we talking about security, feeling safer here?
Yeah.
What steps are being made to actually have it be safer? And I know a lot of people are apprehensive about walking multiple blocks at night in the downtown area, specifically in this general area. It's a little bit darker, and there's not anything going on right here.
Well, you just hit on, I think, the biggest change, Josh, and that's going to be lots of light. This thing will be pretty well lit up, and it's going to be. They're right. This block is not that well lighted right now. It's going to be.
How about the corridors going towards the center of downtown?
Well, we're not changing the street lighting pattern, but this is going to be a big beacon on this part of the city. So you want to talk a little bit about security measure, or Kenny, or?
Okay, I can chime
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll chime in, that's fine. You could. So, we a few years ago, we put in some cameras, which helped somewhat. This is going to expand upon that. The main issue is the lighting, which is suspect in there. The lighting inside will be totally redone. If you've been to the Zeterian garage lately, that was all converted to LED lighting. That's gives you an example of the light level that you'll see. Much brighter than we have right now in here. In addition, there are, I think there's some non-functional fixtures as well, which will be replaced. That'll help as well. And then, anything else, Scott?
I mean, this whole block.
The whole block.
The whole block's gonna be lit.
Lots of
Yeah.
light will be thrown onto the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah, the lighting's
Yeah,
gonna change.
and there'll be, monitoring and so forth is all part of the package.
Is there a timetable?
It's about a year, right? About a year of construction
Yeah, but
for the whole for phase one.
Okay.
Phase one, phase two will follow.
yeah, but you'll see some of
You'll start
the
seeing it
improvements
soon,
in
yeah.
place already. Remember the new member of the press corps, Jessica Coelho? Great question. You'll see Scott's shining face there. It'll be, yes, yes. Anything else, guys?
Mayor, the Mobile Now app is really exciting. for
Oh
those of
yeah,
us
yeah,
that
yeah,
play.
yeah. So we've talked. There's been some coverage of the Mobile Now app, but that's we encourage everybody to get that because that makes parking a lot easier, and it'll apply to the garage as well, right? Or no? Will it? Meters. The meter applies to the meters, right? But anyway, something to talk about. It's another. It's in the same theme that we've been discussing. So the mobile app now app that was announced last week is another step in modernizing parking in the downtown. And in the months ahead, we're looking to do, I think, a long overdue parking study. That's another step that we're going to, I think, need to take because we have parking constraints not only in the downtown itself, but over on the waterfront side as well, and that's all going to have to be reconciled. But this is all going to help business in the long run. It's going to make it just easier on people. That's what happens when you have a successful downtown. Parking becomes constrained, it becomes tight, and you have to plan well to accommodate the volume of demand. All right, thanks guys, we appreciate it. Nice work, nice team effort.